Welcome to episode 2 of the VeinBound Devlog. So today I'm going to focus a lot of my attention on sorting out the drones and making sure they can deposit their resources, as well as anything else we end up getting done today. So the first thing I did today was fix the drone targeting, as previously they would target the wrong resource or target two at the same time. And then I sorted out the problems with the stretching the resources, as sometimes it would stretch the models and position them weirdly, so I just reset the rotation of these resources when they've been picked up and removed the rigid body, and then set the collider to its trigger. I also added a idle position for the drone and an idle state, so when the drone's not got a target and doesn't have to return to the station, it heads up to an idle position, which can be moved around and can be changed between drones as well to make sure that it doesn't keep moving around unnecessarily. I then added a simple crosshair, just a pink dot in the middle of the screen for now, just so the player knows where they're looking. So I also began learning about scriptable objects, which allowed me to make the resources into their own scriptable object, and this holds the information about each resource, so it's buy price, sell price for currency, description, sprites that we use for the UI, and various other things. I then created a new folder within the project just to store these resources and their information. The next thing I did was to create a drone station script, and this uses dictionaries to store the resources as scriptable objects within the station itself. This allows me to set certain resources that can or can't be accessed by that station. The resources are then stored within the dictionaries once the drones have dropped them off, just using a simple fragment script that just stores the resource's name within the fragment. The next thing to do was to create a cooldown for the tools, as currently you could just spam the tools to quickly break the ores. I added stats for health, hunger and thirst for the player, and then created functions to handle the deductions of these stats. I also added a relatively simple debuff system for when the thirst and hunger get too low. It reduces the player movement, like walking speed, sprint speed, and then eventually deducts the player's health slowly. I then just made a simple UI to display the health, hunger and thirst. Now moving on to the most complicated system I've made so far. I made a flexible eye interaction system to work with a wide number of different objects and things that we want it to do. This was effectively split into 3 scripts. An eye interaction script, which just sets the expected functions of that script type. I then made an interaction script, which sets the logic for when the interaction UI displays and the text that it displays on it. And then just a base interaction script, which is used by many different interactions as a simple way of importing the interaction system. Obviously all UI and physical game objects at the moment are simply just placeholder objects to make sure the systems work before continuing, so I'm aware this UI looks horrendous. After a long time of tearing my hair out with the interaction system, I finally got it to work, and as you can see here, I got it to work on a cube that just says hello world when interacting with it, but it works and that's the main thing. I was then looking for another small thing to finish off the day before going on to the next day, and I made a simple working main menu. It does not look pretty at all, but it does the job. And then I just added the new logo to the bottom of the UI of the main menu in game. I then moved on to creating a simple placeholder station UI, which displays the items for the station within a grid. This was a little bit tricky to set up, but I eventually got it working. At this point, the UI worked, however, the player would always look at the mouse regardless of the mouse position, so I added a UI mode to the player script which allows me to toggle back and forth whether the mouse is used as an input for a UI or whether the player would look at the mouse position to use it as a free camera. The final thing to do here was to just make a script that connects the interaction for the station to display the station UI, as well as updated it with the current station's items. thank you for watching this devlog today. There should hopefully be another video up soon for the next lot of progress that I've made with this game. Hopefully in the next video we can try and sort out some of the graphics, because it's currently killing my brain just looking at a big grey mess. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.